Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. For those of you here for the first one, it's a hard act to follow. The first presentation was rather humorous and rather informative, and I'll try and get some humor in my presentation. The islands and who discovered them. I'll give you a little information about me and who I am and why I'm on this ship. The island geography and geology I'll talk briefly about. I'll talk about how humans arrived in the islands, not only Hawaii, what they left for us to find and how we reconstruct their histories, and some places to visit in future lectures that I'll be talking about. For those of you in the back row or just perhaps watching me over telly later on, this is what I look like, although it's a younger picture. I'm a little grayer right now. But if you see me walking around the ship, or my wife Sadie and I, just feel free to ask me a question and I'll try to come up with an answer. I am a professor emeritus of anthropology at California State University, Chico. I full-time retired in 2009. It's 175 miles northeast of San Francisco, and it's in the Sacramento Valley in the state of California. Someone asked me, it's about 700 miles in length, and we flew to Southern California to pick up this wonderful ship. I'm wearing what I call my 8th man spaceman tie. For those in the front row, you can see it. For those on the telly, this is what it looks like. I'll try to bring us from Australopithecus and early evolutionary ideas into the spaceman to the space age that we're at today. I'll take you from humans coming to the Pacific up to the present day. Now, I am an anthropologist, and anthropology literally is anthropos and logos, the science or the study of people, science or study of human beings. There are various subdisciplines in anthropology. Sociocultural anthropology is what I do. I am involved with living people. There are those who are biological or physical anthropologists. They do measurements and comparisons of human beings and psychomotor studies. I know a bit about the human body, but I'm not going to get into that very in depth. They do studies of bones and teeth. There are those who do applied anthropology. These are individuals who work for government or industry. General Motors, Xerox, and other corporations have applied anthropologists on their staff to try and find out how they can better market their services to the public. There are those who are archaeologists who go around digging. So many people associate the term anthropology with the archaeologists, and perhaps the most famous one is Indiana Jones, who was born in 1942. Indy did a lot to bring anthropology to public's awareness. I love humor in my lectures, and I'll try to bring out some cartoons. I like Indiana Jones and the aching and pains associated with aging. Indy and I are in the same age bracket, but I think he's in a little better shape perhaps than I am. Maybe it's his millions of dollars. There's also linguistic anthropology. Linguistic anthropologists study language and how languages relate to one another. I'll be talking briefly about languages in the Pacific to put things into perspective, but it's not my major thrust. So I am a sociocultural anthropologist interested in living people. Another way that people have put together anthropology is looking at biological anthropology, cultural, linguistic, archaeology, and the facts and data that support it. Anthropology is a holistic discipline, and I got involved in it because it was a fun discipline. It's a little bit of everything to talk about people. We tell a story, and that's what I'll try to do over my total of 7 lectures, is tell you a story from my perspective in anthropology. One of the classic anthropology cartoons, and I was very sorry when Gary Larson, the American Gary Larson, retired. Some of you may have seen this. It's a classic one. The anthropologists are coming over the hill. Here you have a VCR. Today it would be a DVD player. There you have the anthropologists in their pith helmets. And there you have a black object that is the natives are putting away. When I did this in my classes back at the university, I would have to explain what that black object was. And sometimes I feel like, my wife and I feel like Opal and Earl in Pickles. And do you know what this thing is, Nelson? Nope. It's our old telephone. We used it for years and years. It was a great piece of equipment. And everyone we knew had one exactly like it. Wow, it's big. How many songs did it hold? Now, the telephone is tiny, and we carry them with us. My basic credo in anthropology is as simple as the ABCs. It's the appreciation of basic cultural diversity everywhere, and it's not bad to be different. Homo sapiens evolved over time, millions of years ago. This is my paradigm. This is my theory out of Africa and around the world. I'm not going to get into boring you with the specifics, but I believe in evolution, and I am an anthropologist. I specified